This is a Poeartistry Gold Moment by the author James Lynch.
We strive to learn and then we grow. There's an example that I like to use, and it deals with mathematics. And the reason why I actually use it to go to show that there are subjects in school that we really did need to learn. And not only did we need to learn them, but it goes to show the importance of the teachers that were in place to actually be there for the students to ask questions. Some of the teachers, boy, they used to have sections or time, you see what I'm saying, at the end of the class, where it really wasn't at the end of the class. Here's the point. First, you will have a book, and then, starting right with chapter 1, and even the introductory thoughts and things of that nature, that there were some teachers who, during that first week of school, would read what is stated as far as in the production of that book. And, they didn't spend too much time on all the preface or introductory remarks for the book, if there was some. But the point is, it was already drumming up an interest to really learn the subject that was going to help you all throughout your life. And then you would see, even in the first chapter, it always seemed like the first lesson is pretty easy. Wouldn't you agree? Can you think back that far? But the first lesson always seemed to be pretty easy, that the teacher would talk about or walk you through. And that normally, depending on how difficult the subject may be, the teacher may spend more than 5 or 10 minutes on that subject. Yet there was always a time, you see, at the midpoint, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes for even questions that the person could ask about how to solve this problem or that problem. And then maybe the last 10 minutes or so, they may be given some type of assignment or exercise that, hey, if you didn't finish it, then you had homework. All the same, you were learning during that time. You weren't stressed out or anything, where I know some people may say they were, but for the most part, you were already enthralled in the lesson. Your mind was, I want to use the word conditioned, but I want to say conditioned in the best way, that it would be conducive to really learning what was being taught. So you're given all the time. You're given the chance to give feedback or questions, whichever way you want to look at it, because, you had some persons who probably just wanted to tease the teacher at times with some of the questions they would ask or the remarks they would make. Well, here it is. Then when they did their homework and went back the next day, you see, and maybe had it depends, because not every teacher did this, but depending on the next day, when they went into the classroom, and the teacher would either take up the homework assignments or actually say, was there a couple of problems that any of you had problems with? And people would mention what they had a problem with in this way or that way. And after the teacher resolved, you see, those issues as best as they could, and they did an overall good job on it, because look how many people still graduated. Then what does that mean? It meant they learned it. And, I'm going to say this loosely, but if we can agree with it now, they mastered it, the students. And then what? They grew. How did they grow? They were able to turn the pages into the next chapter, being well qualified to take on that next chapter. Well, that's the same thing that we actually do in work. I mean, in life, that's what I want to say, on our jobs and things of that nature. Remember some of the lessons that you learned, some of the methods that you learned that really made you the type of person you are today. Sometimes people may say, boy, that is one smart cookie. Well, what are they saying? They're saying you certainly know how to take in or digest information if you don't already have a lot of it stored in your mind anyway. But see, how did you become a smart cookie? You learned throughout the years and you continue to grow. And look at you. You done grew now to such an extent, boy, you look like some type of tasty, edible morsel to somebody because you're a smart cookie. Thank you for being with me on this Poetry Gold moment and have a wonderful day.